All right, welcome back into Market Day Report. I'm glad to be back. We had some fun. Speaking of the great people down in Naples, it was the NARA conference. That's the North American Renters Association. Great people. Michael Smith, he's the outgoing chairman. Fantastic guy. He was very nice to us, accommodated everything. I was glad to be able to be in the company of those folks. And another guy, Brian Scott, he's with Miniet Holdings. He was down there as well, accommodated everything with us. And great group of people. Can't say enough about them. And that's going to be the North American Renters Association. That's Michael Smith. He's the outgoing chairman. He's a great guy. And so is Brian Scott. He's with Miniet Holdings in Chicago. Thank you very much to both of you for looking after me. I know it's hard. All right. So let's take a look and see if we can look after these markets for a second, right? I've been out for 2 days. What's been going on? Well, I'll tell you. Here we go. Let's bring up corn. Corn's up 2.5 cents. Look at that. 481 3/4 in the D's. We've only had about a 6 cent range. I don't know why I giggle. It's just almost painful. 2.5 cents higher. 481 3/4 is last, and that's decent. Not a lot going on there. We do have a little wind beneath our wings when we talk about beans. 22 cents higher in the Nove. Got a 13 back in front of it, so we have to do a little bit of a round of applause. See if we can hold on to it. We're close to the high of the day by only 3/4 cent. Right now about a penny off. So 13.01 1/4 is the last. 13.02 1/4 is the high. We're up 21 3/4 cents. That's some pretty good going. Jan's up 22 3/4 cents right behind it. That's soybeans. Let's go to the wheat. Chicago wheat down 6 3/4 cents. That's December. 5.72 3/4 is last there. Only a penny and 3/4 off of the low of the day. And we've got about an 11 cent range over there. So that'll give you an idea about what wheat in Chicago looks like. 6 3/4 cents lower to 5.72 3/4. That's the D's contract. From Chicago, we go to Kansas City and see what the hard red's got in store for us, and that too is lower, 13 3/4 cents lower, as a matter of fact. 6.41 is last. That's a penny and a quarter off the lows. And that one's a little bit of a different situation. We have a 17 cent range, so we're kind of plumbing the depths on a decent range over there. 13 3/4 cents lower. 6.41 is last. That one's kind of hurting a little bit, right? Spring wheat in Minneapolis, that's 5.5 cents lower in that D's contract. 7.18 3/4 is last. That's a penny and a half off the lows too there. Kind of see a little bit of a pattern taking place here, right? And we're about what? I don't know, 8 cents off the highs of the day. So we're plumbing the depths on that range. That range is only 9 cents, but we're a penny and a quarter off the lows. 5.5 cents lower. D's trades at 7.18 3/4 in Minneapolis. That's the spring wheat. Let's take a look at cotton, and we'll get to our next guest analyst. 26 points lower in that D's contract. 84.33 is last, and let's get to our next guest analyst. It's going to be the venerable Joe Lardy. He's finally back with us. We've been waiting to see him. Joe, thanks for being on Inver Grove Heights. He's with CHS. Thanks for taking the time. Love having you back on. Glad you're better. What are your thoughts here, having had about 8 weeks to think about what you're going to say right now?
It's funny when I left to take a little leave for a couple months, and when I came back, corn was at the same level.
I don't even want to laugh. I shouldn't.
I know I shouldn't laugh either. But corn is really stuck in a range. I mean, you look back for the past 3 months, it's got about a 30-cent range. I mean, just nothing compelling. We know we've got over a 2 billion bushel carryout, so I think corn's just going to be kind of a choppy market, stuck within that range. But I think the real compelling story in the grain markets really is the soybean meal. I mean, we set new contract highs today, and when you look at a chart of that, I mean, trend's your friend, right? Yep. And soybean meal just continues to march higher, and I think the bean market really couldn't ignore that strength for that many days. So I think we're finally seeing a reaction from that meal strength in the bean market today.
Should a producer that hasn't done anything take advantage of it, or what do you do here?
That's always a tough call at this point of the year. But, sometimes these markets, they hand you an opportunity. Why not reward yourself with a little something anyway?
Seems like the focus is now shifted towards South American weather. Is that
absolutely?
Maybe, yeah. Does that also could be kind of like something that puts a little bit of a cap or a black cloud on our prices here?
Yeah, potentially. The outlook for the South American production is absolutely enormous. But yet we can't forget that an El Nino pattern is in place, which generally brings a decent amount of dryness to the central part of Brazil, which is their main growing areas. So, it almost feels like there's a binary trade down there where the crop's either going to miss El Nino and be really, really big, like world record big, or it's going to get clipped by the El Nino dryness, and then we might have a little bit more opportunity up here.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would be behoove the the producers to maybe take advantage of it. Real quick, there have been some reports of some better than average yields that a lot of folks didn't think they were going to get up here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, hearing the same thing, Scott, that some of this late harvested stuff is actually coming in surprising. I don't think it's stuff where the USDA is going to need to make a massive revision higher, but it's certainly something to think about as we inch closer to that November WASDE report.
Awesome stuff. Great to have you back. We missed you.
You bet.
Joe Lardy coming to us from CHS up in Inver Grove Heights, Minnesota. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more livestock with the guy wearing the cow jacket right after this.